Hello, Ron here. I'll be interviewing Mike. Mike, please let us know, how did you get involved with Kingdom Defense? What's your story?
Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting story. I already had a company called Zephyr Systems Inc., where we did drone and government defense contracts and things like that. Um, but ultimately, I think it was after our time down at Hurricane Helene, helping out with those efforts, that really spurred kind of an ambition in me to really like try to give back and not just be chasing after the corporate dollar, if you will. I ended up getting a connection through LinkedIn. Gentleman's name is Mike Smock. So he was the original founder of Kingdom Defense as well as Distributed Security Incorporated. We got to chatting, and unfortunately, one of his business partners had passed a couple years ago, and they kind of let the curriculum and some of the stuff kind of stay stagnant, and we just struck common core with our faith, Christianity, and we just started chatting, and next thing you know, after a few conversations, he basically offered the organization to me to kind of take over and kind of revive it, if you will. And I think the timing was absolutely perfect. We've seen, increased, threats and different things, not only on just Christian organizations and churches, but also schools, synagogues, really across the spectrum. I think the safety of people to be able to go to their place of worship or even a place of education is super important. And so that's kind of how I came across Kingdom of Defense. Yeah.
Now, since you've been in here, you've brought a certain leadership style and you've made a few changes. Would you like to elaborate on any of those?
Yeah. I mean, as far as leadership, ultimately, I think, I try to basically mentor and build. So anyone who's part of the organization, as you know, I try to work myself out of a job. So the idea is always to basically, give everything that's needed to the people to get their job done successfully and grow, and let them, grow, whether it's good or bad, right? And let them own those decisions. That's kind of my leadership style. As far as revamping the curriculum and things like that, we're really taking a faith-based approach. Distributed Security was originally founded by Mike Smock and a gentleman by the name of Ron, actually, and no relation though, and he was really, Mike Smock was really the business side of the house, and he was really very much the faith portion of the organization, while Ron was really the tactician. He basically established a lot of the federal law enforcement training center curriculum and things like that, and he was a real pivotal, founding member of Blackwater and Eric Prince's organization in this early heydays. So, which we also shared a connection because I worked for Blackwater for a period of time. So yeah, so for us, it's really just revamping the curriculum, updating it, and then making it really applicable to what pastors and elders are going to be looking for in their churches.
That's good. And then you said you were contracting before, and then you have some other experience in the military. Would you like to elaborate on any of that?
Yeah. So I think it's important to kind of know, who's speaking here. So yeah, I started my career, if you will, in the military, United States Army, and joined originally as a turbine engine mechanic. After being there for a little bit of time, basically got selected for the 160th, went through selection, which is like a tier 1, tier 2 type of operator for aviation. Did a deployment in the early years of Afghanistan, basically the initial invasion in 2001. Did get injured, got out of the military, and then from there I started doing a lot of contracting. So I contracted with all the big name organizations, including Blackwater, other companies that no one's really ever heard of, but they were really just kind of a front for a 3-letter agency. So I spent a lot of time overseas. Probably a 20-year war. I probably spent 8 or 9 years over there in total. And yeah, I definitely learned a lot. Became kind of a guy on the ground. It started as a guy in the air and became a guy on the ground, kicking indoors and doing that stuff. Yeah.
What are some of the goals you want?
Yeah. So I think, number one goal is to just bring awareness first and foremost. I think a lot of churches and organizations as a whole, they lack awareness of their surrounding. They lack the wherewithal of the threats that actually are out there. We've seen recent events in the news where these situations have happened recently. Shooters and things have entered churches. Ultimately, there's a few examples where the result was okay because they had a good church security team. That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for to build awareness, build standard operating procedures, something that's mentioned multiple times throughout the course, so people have a basis for understanding of what the threats are, how to analyze them, and how to mitigate them mostly. Obviously, there is advanced training that we'll offer as far as shooting packages and different things like that, but that's not really the focus of it. The focus is really just to secure your place of worship, and not really impact the parishioners in any way, shape, or form. They're not going to know that there's some massive security team keeping them protected. They're just going to take for granted that it's there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.